Can you do some more racing next year?
Yeah, we're planning on coming back.
Part-time?
Yeah, part-time.
Cletus McFarland is about to shock the racing world. The YouTuber who made his name with wild burnouts and crazy car stunts is stepping back into real competition. In 2026, he's returning to the track, chasing a dream that many thought was impossible. The question is, can an internet star actually fight his way to the top levels of NASCAR? Cletus, whose real name is Garrett Mitchell, first got famous on YouTube. He built his brand with wild car builds, crazy stunts, and loud horsepower that drew millions of viewers. His fun style and love for racing made him one of the biggest automotive creators online. Unlike many others, he always wanted to take his passion from the garage to the racetrack, which pushed him into professional racing. His first major step came in Arca, the series often seen as a gateway into NASCAR. In 2023, he made headlines when he attempted his first short-track start at Bristol. For anyone who has followed Bristol, they know it is not the place for beginners. It's a half-mile bullring where even veterans get humbled. Cletus qualified 27th and managed to run only 61 of the 200 scheduled laps. A right front tire failure sent him into the wall and ended his night early. He was open about the disappointment, but also about what he had learned. The challenges of managing the car, tire wear, and traffic on such a small and intense circuit gave him an immediate education in what racing at this level really requires. That debut was far from glamorous, but it didn't scare him off. In fact, it set the stage for what came next. Over the following seasons, Cletus continued to chase Arca starts, particularly at the super speedways. By 2025, he had entered 4 different Arca races. These included major stops at Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, and of course, Bristol once again. This time, the results were far more promising. He managed to earn 2 top 10 finishes, including a strong run at Talladega and another at Charlotte. Those results turned some heads in the garage because few expected a YouTuber to hang inside the top 10 against serious competition. Still, Cletus remained his usual self in interviews, admitting that he got his butt kicked plenty of times along the way. He pointed out that racing is unforgiving, and he had to respect the craft, the preparation, and the years of experience his competitors had. Instead of getting discouraged, he treated every setback as another lesson, something that his fans resonated with. They weren't just watching a creator throw himself into racing for views, they were watching him grow as a driver.
All right. Reactions to first Arca Bristol race.
I got my butt kicked, man.
Then came the announcement in September 2025. Standing on pit road at Bristol, the very same track where he made his rough debut, Cletus confirmed that he will return in 2026 for a part-time Arca schedule. This wasn't a vague tease. His team owner at Retta Jones Racing explained that they're lining up somewhere between 8 to 10 Arca races for the season, along with additional super late model starts. That's a significant commitment and shows this isn't just about dabbling anymore, it's about building consistency and proving he can belong in the racing world. The plan for 2026 is important for 2 reasons. First, it gives Cletus the chance to log more laps, more experience, and more time with his crew. In motorsports, repetition and familiarity are everything. Second, it positions him for his bigger long-term goal, which he has not been shy about. He has said he wants to compete in the Daytona 500, possibly by 2027 or 2028. That's one of the most ambitious jumps imaginable, but he is setting the groundwork to at least make it a possibility. Of course, that dream comes with plenty of speculation and rumors. Earlier this year, chatter began spreading that Cletus might be involved in NASCAR's Truck Series, with whispers about possible manufacturer backing, particularly from Ram. The rumor mill spun fast, with some people even suggesting a path that would take him directly into NASCAR's National Series. However, Ram's CEO was quick to deny any involvement, putting a stop to that storyline. For now, the focus remains on Arca, but the fact that these kinds of rumors even exist shows how much excitement Cletus has generated. The road ahead won't be simple. Racing costs a lot, and even with fans and sponsors, it's tough to fund. On top of that, some people doubt him. Supporters cheer him on, but critics say he doesn't belong or is taking a spot from another driver. That mix of doubt and support is what makes his story so compelling. Despite the doubts, there's no denying the cultural impact. Cletus brings an entirely new audience to the track. His millions of subscribers follow him because of his entertaining content, and many of them had never watched a NASCAR race before. By stepping into Arca and potentially beyond, he bridges the gap between digital entertainment and traditional motorsports. NASCAR has been trying to capture younger audiences for years, and a personality like Cletus does exactly that. He creates a storyline that resonates both online and at the track. 2026 will be his real test. He has around 10 Arca starts lined up, facing super speedways, intermediates, and short tracks. Each track type will push a different skill, and he needs to show he can handle them all. His late model runs will also sharpen him on smaller circuits. Every lap will matter, with fans, sponsors, and teams all watching to see if he's a racer or just a YouTuber. At the same time, he'll still need to juggle his growing brand with life at the track. It's a tough balance. On one side, Cletus runs a huge business with videos, events, and merch. On the other, he's chasing one of the hardest dreams in racing. But he's always proven people wrong. From burnout videos to building one of the biggest car brands online, he now wants to do the same in motorsports. 2026 feels different. He's not just trying to survive like in 2023, or testing the waters like in 2025. This time he has real backing, a set plan, and enough races to prove himself. Now he'll either silence the doubters or confirm what they've said all along. The question becomes, what happens if he succeeds? Imagine the storyline if Cletus begins running consistently inside the top 10 or even scores a podium finish. The credibility that would bring, not just to him but to content creators in general, would be massive. Suddenly, the idea of a YouTuber in NASCAR wouldn't be a joke but a legitimate possibility. That kind of breakthrough could change how teams, sponsors, and fans view the pipeline into the sport. Looking ahead to 2026, the bigger picture is clear. NASCAR wants new fans, and Cletus brings them. His millions of followers may now tune into races, buy tickets, or grab team gear. That crossover power is huge. This isn't just one driver chasing a dream. It's two worlds colliding, online creators and traditional racing. Whether Cletus breaks through or not, his story is one of the most unique in motorsports. So will Cletus McFarland prove he belongs on the track, or will 2026 show the limits of a creator chasing NASCAR glory? Either way, when the green flag waves on his Arca return, the racing world will be watching.
He's done that the entire race, from the drop of the green flag, spin in the back.
Multi-car incident. Cars going everywhere. Van Gisbergen, Keselowski, Haley skipped through there. Busch involved.
Shane Van Gisbergen's day at New Hampshire started like a dream, but ended in smoke and heartbreak. He showed speed, control, and even scored stage points, his best oval run yet. But one crash flipped everything upside down. The wreck left his car in pieces and his race ruined, raising one big question. What does this mean for NASCAR's bold rookie? But instead of celebrating a career-best finish, his weekend ended in smoke, wreckage, and bitter disappointment. His promising NASCAR Cup Series run was derailed by a major crash, marking one of the toughest moments of his transition from supercars to American stock car racing. SVG started the day strong in the number 88 Chevrolet Camaro for Trackhouse Racing, lining up 10th, his best oval qualifying effort in a points-paying NASCAR Cup Series event. The New Zealander moved quickly through the pack, climbing as high as 6th during the early stages. He demonstrated smooth car control, clean overtakes, and great tire management, a rare feat for someone still new to ovals. Even more impressive, Van Gisbergen scored his first stage points on an oval by finishing 7th in Stage 1. This was a major milestone for the Kiwi, who's been steadily adapting to the aggressive, contact-heavy nature of NASCAR's oval circuits. Up to that point, his run had been clean, calculated, and full of promise. But as is often the case in NASCAR, chaos struck. The race turned sour on lap 118 during a restart. As the tightly packed field charged into Turn 2, Brad Keselowski attempted an inside move but scraped the wall and made contact with Van Gisbergen's car. The hit sent SVG into a slide, spinning twice directly in front of traffic. Kyle Busch, with nowhere to go, slammed into him. Daniel Suarez, SVG's teammate, and Justin Haley were also collected in the wreck. It was a chain reaction that left several cars damaged and several races ruined. Van Gisbergen's car suffered severe front suspension damage. His crew, refusing to give up, made rapid repairs and got the car back on track. But by then, he was over 50 laps down and far from contending. He finished 32nd. The outcome was a heartbreaking blow for both SVG and Trackhouse Racing, who had shown such strong pace earlier in the event. SVG spoke to reporters post-race, clearly disappointed. It was frustrating because the car was really strong, and we were running well. I felt good on the long runs, and it could have been a solid result for us. Earlier in the race, SVG had a minor incident with Josh Berry on lap 82, tapping the number, 21 car, and spinning him out. That moment added to the tension around SVG's aggressive style, but didn't detract from his overall speed and potential. Keselowski's failed inside move wasn't deliberate, but was risky. His slight misjudgment triggered a high-speed mess that affected not just Van Gisbergen, but other key drivers. Kyle Busch, who was gaining momentum in the race, had his day ruined. Daniel Suarez, looking for a solid finish to gain playoff points, was taken out through no fault of his own. SVG's crash is another chapter in what has been a whirlwind rookie season for him in NASCAR. He stunned the motorsports world by winning on his Cup Series debut at the Chicago Street Race in 2023. Since then, his full-time NASCAR journey has been under a microscope. Each race has brought new learning curves, and despite the crash, his speed at New Hampshire showed how quickly he's improving.
Yeah, I'm happy but frustrated, proud, privileged to be here, but also pissed at myself. The last few weeks I just haven't been good enough. I've been really doing well, getting better at ovals, and I just haven't performed the last couple of weeks.
Trackhouse Racing, the team SVG races for, has been instrumental in helping international talent like SVG find footing in American stock car racing. Team owner Justin Marks has emphasized long-term development and is known for taking risks on unique talents. SVG's inclusion in the team is a testament to that vision. Meanwhile, the race itself concluded with Ryan Blaney securing a hard-fought victory. Blaney held off a late charge from Josh Berry to lock in his spot in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs round of 8. It was Blaney's first win in several weeks, and it came at a critical time. He praised Berry post-race. "Probably the hardest 20 laps I've driven. He got super free. I appreciate him racing clean and not putting the bumper to me." Blaney's victory shifted attention away from the wreckage behind him, but not for long. Fans and analysts immediately zeroed in on the lap 118 crash that changed the outcome for several contenders. Discussion swirled online, with many pointing out how difficult it is for new drivers, especially international ones like SVG, to survive the unpredictability of NASCAR restarts. This kind of wreck is part of the learning curve. NASCAR's ovals are intense, especially tracks like New Hampshire that feature flat turns and tight racing. Drivers are inches apart at high speeds, and one small miscalculation can take out half the field. Brad Keselowski admitted post-race that the wreck was unfortunate, but didn't go into much detail. Suarez expressed his frustration too, noting how painful it is to be caught up in someone else's mistake. SVG's return to the race, even after being multiple laps down, speaks volumes about his attitude. His crew's efforts ensured he crossed the finish line, which still matters in the context of learning and data collection. Every lap completed helps SVG improve for the next outing. Looking ahead, SVG and Trackhouse Racing will shift focus to the upcoming event at Kansas Speedway. Scheduled for Monday, September 29th at 8 a.m., NZST, it presents another chance for redemption. Kansas is a 1.5-mile oval. Faster than New Hampshire, but still technical. It will be a new test for SVG's skills, and all eyes will be on how he bounces back. The NASCAR Cup Series is nearing the business end of the season. Every point matters, every finish counts, and for drivers like SVG still trying to make their mark, every race is an audition for 2026 and beyond. Trackhouse remains committed to his development, and this crash, while disappointing, doesn't change that. Fans in New Zealand and around the world are rallying behind SVG. Social media was flooded with support and praise for his pace before the wreck. Many noted how strong he looked in the first third of the race and how well he handled the initial incidents. This crash, while unfortunate, has not shaken SVG's growing presence in NASCAR. It's a learning experience, painful but necessary. As for Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, and the other drivers caught up in the Turn 2 mess, they'll also be looking to rebound. The Cup Series doesn't wait. There's always another race, another chance, another story. But for SVG, New Hampshire will be remembered as a day when everything was aligning, until it wasn't. The next steps for SVG will be crucial. He'll debrief with engineers, go over the race footage, and reset his mindset. Kansas is a new chance. A chance to prove that New Hampshire was a stumble, not a trend. Even after finishing 32nd, SVG's progress is undeniable. The speed is there. The adaptability is real. Now it's about putting all the pieces together. Shane Van Gisbergen's NASCAR story is still being written, and this crash is just another chapter in what's becoming a fascinating journey. Whether it's on road courses, street circuits, or now ovals, SVG has shown that he belongs. New Hampshire was rough, but Kansas is coming, and with SVG's grit, there's no doubt he'll be ready.
It was a great day for Toyota, 1 through 4, and obviously a bunch in the top 10. So
Denny Hamlin just revealed the real reason his championship hopes are falling apart, and it's not what anyone expected. The three-time Daytona 500 winner is dealing with serious mechanical problems that have cost him multiple races this season, and he's finally speaking out about what's really going wrong. Let's start with what should have been Hamlin's moment of glory at Darlington. The guy absolutely nailed qualifying, posting a blistering 171.381 miles per hour's lap that earned him the pole position. But here's the kicker. By doing that, he actually prevented his own teammate, Chase Briscoe, from making NASCAR history.
Yeah, down here with Denny Hamlin. He's making some laps with Chase Briscoe. Chase said that you ripped turns 3 and 4. How'd that car feel?
it turned. We struggled with the balance really all during race practice, and so we made some good adjustments there to go one lap, and felt like it was really good. The Sport Clips Toyota did everything I needed it to do, and yeah, it's awesome to come here and get a pole.
You've won here before a few times. Do you feel like this car has what it takes on the long run to get it done again?
We're going to have to work on it. We definitely have some work to do, no doubt about it. But starting up front is certainly a big advantage. We'll go back, reset tonight, do a bunch of work, and we'll be stronger tomorrow.
Denny Hamlin feeling good about his number 11 Toyota.
Briscoe was trying to become the first driver ever to win poles at all 4 Crown Jewel races in a single season. He already had the Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600, and Brickyard 400 locked up. All he needed was Darlington, and Hamlin said, not today. But winning the pole was about the only thing that went right for Hamlin that weekend. During the race, what he calls gremlins started showing up in his car. And when Hamlin talks about gremlins, he's not talking about something small. These were serious clutch problems that had never happened before in his career. On his podcast, Hamlin explained exactly what was going wrong. He said his car was popping out of gear multiple times during corners, which sounds absolutely terrifying when you're going 180 miles per hour around one of NASCAR's trickiest tracks. What makes this even more frustrating for Hamlin is that he's never had these kinds of issues before. For years, his cars have been reliable. Now, right when the playoffs start and every point matters, his equipment is letting him down. Despite starting from the pole at one of his favorite tracks, Hamlin was never really in contention to win. He had to grind it out for 500 miles, dealing with clutch problems and additional issues with his right rear on pit road. Still, he managed to salvage a 7th-place finish, which kept him second in the playoff standings, 43 points above the cut line. But here's where Hamlin's response gets really interesting. Instead of getting angry or pointing fingers, he's taken what he calls a loose approach to the playoffs. He told his podcast listeners that there's no way he can be consumed with problems he can't control. His exact words were pretty blunt. He said, if the engine blows, and there's nothing he can do about that. This isn't just some feel-good attitude either. Hamlin has learned this lesson the hard way through years of racing at the highest level. At Darlington especially, you need patience and experience to navigate those narrow grooves without making costly mistakes. The track punishes drivers who get too aggressive, and Hamlin knows that getting emotional about mechanical problems would only make things worse. The clutch issues at Darlington were just the beginning, though. Back in May at Kansas Speedway, Hamlin faced an even more embarrassing situation. His clutch problems got so bad that his car literally had to be pushed and pulled out of the pit stall. His crew chief, Chris Gale, was on the radio giving him step-by-step emergency procedures, telling him to put the car in neutral, then drop it into first gear while the crew pushed. If that didn't work, he was supposed to shut off the engine, put it in second gear, and use the starter motor to get moving. The whole mess turned what should have been a normal pit stop into a 17.4-second disaster. Hamlin kept trying to race, but eventually the team had to throw in the towel with 63 laps to go. When he talked to Fox after getting out of the car, Hamlin's frustration was obvious. He said the car was really fast, but they just couldn't keep it together. Then there was the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, which might have been the most heartbreaking of all. Hamlin was actually fighting for the win, trading the lead back and forth with William Byron 12 different times. He was running strong and looked like he had a real shot at victory. But with 52 laps to go, his pit crew made a mistake that cost him everything. During the pit stop, his fueler's equipment either malfunctioned or wasn't engaged properly. Instead of getting a full load of fuel, Hamlin came up 4 gallons short. That doesn't sound like much,